Hi there, my name is Brandye, and I wanted to share some information with you about the journey that my boy-girl twins and I have had with autism spectrum disorders and a product called Kivana Core Detox Plus. Around the age of 18 months, I started seeing both of my kids regressing. They were moving from babbling and getting to where they weren't trying to talk at all. Their reclusive behavior was increasing. Their personal space was heavily guarded. They would not let anybody tuck them in. Hugging was not in the question, and snuggling before nap time and bedtime was increasing in difficulty. They did not play together. They didn't play with other children. They would just keep themselves occupied and would completely not even acknowledge anybody else that was there. My son's meltdowns were increasing in intensity as well as frequency on a daily basis. He was taking less and less interest in foods he used to love, and he wouldn't eat them at all. He would actually make himself throw up if they were presented to him. His transitions were very difficult, as well as any time that we would move off of his schedule. My daughter was moving from frequent toe walking to constant toe walking. She was having zone outs, what I call zone outs, where she would stop in the middle of anything she was doing and just go blank, almost like she was daydreaming. But I would talk to her and make noises to try to distract her, and her eyes would just glance at me, but there was no communication going on at all. She started obsessive behaviors where she would take puzzle 5 to 7 puzzles and dump all the pieces out, mix them up, have the puzzles completed in less than 90 seconds without even simple mistakes. She would line everything up in BrandyeBurrisAutism, and she would repetitively go through the alphabet and line up her flashcards or her alphabet puzzle pieces and then mix them up and do it again and again and again. This would go on for 20-30 minutes, and if I tried to stop it, it would be a meltdown. At the age of 22 months, I had been told about a program that came into your home for therapy. You had to be tested and approved. You had to reach a certain amount of delay in development to be able to be accepted. My son was accepted. My daughter was not because of her advancements in some of the other areas. But we started in-home therapy with somebody once a week. She came at an hour at a time. Around the age of 2.5, my daughter, I retested her and she was accepted, and they also added in speech therapy for both children. A few days after that started, I had seen a friend of mine posting on her Facebook page about a product she was using for her daughter, who at the time was 8, for her ADHD. They were having remarkable results. She was able to stop taking her prescription medications, so they were treating her naturally, and she was doing very, very well. There's many similarities between ADHD and ASD, and I just figured if the pharmacist and the pediatrician did not see any red flags in the ingredients, which they did not, then it wouldn't hurt to try. So I took a capsule, I opened it up, split it between both children, and started them on it. And within 3 days, which was also the second appointment with the speech therapist, my son started talking. He said his first 3 words within a 5-minute time frame. A few days later, my daughter started talking. 2 weeks after being on the supplement is when their main therapist returned, and both of my kids ran to her when I opened the door. They hugged her legs and they said hi. They grabbed her hands and walked her towards their play area. She immediately broke down into tears, as did I, and asked me what was going on. At 3.5, I got a formal diagnosis by a developmental pediatrician so that we could have it on paper, and they are both diagnosed PDD and OS. My son is also sensory processing disorder, or SPD. My daughter's right on the borderline of PDD and OS and Asperger's, if you were to categorize them. They were accepted into a preschool program at the age of 4 that puts them into mainstream with spectrum and non-spectrum children. I am now happy to say that both of them speak in complete sentences. They answer questions on a regular basis. We have conversations each day they come home from school. They tell me about their friends. They know their names. They know their hair color. They know what book bags their friends have. We have real conversation. They both are social. They talk to everybody at the store. We are having less meltdowns. The transitions are almost seamless. They play together all the time. They do pretend play. They even make up their own once upon a time stories as we go. My daughter is reading at a second and third grade level. She tells time with hands on a clock, and she can count up to 500. We're starting to work on math, addition and subtraction. She just started dance class this year, is participating in the class wonderfully. She loves it. I can't even get her out of there. And they're on the road to recovery. I fully believe it. We do other dietary and supplementation, but I have to say that this one product is really what started it, and they continue to stay on it, and they continue to progress. So if you know anybody or have a child on the autism spectrum, please just look into it. It's worth researching and asking. You're welcome to reach out to me, or if you know anybody that is in the company Kibana, please reach out to them as well. And I hope this helps you as much as it helped me. Thanks so much for listening, and God bless.